So MJC allows quite a bit of budget versus actuals comparisons. Now this is the sort of the larger budget versus actuals group. It can be a little bit difficult to look at as it's meant to be an overarching report that is sliced on any given implementation. But we'll look at the floor 8 as a quick example, and we'll be able to see our percentages as they move through that chain. And what I'm basically doing is looking at I'm looking at only my planned labor as my earned value metric in this case. Of course, I can combine it off of any of the 8 metrics that you see here on the screen, but it's a nice convenience in this demonstration to keep it very clean and simple. Against that backdrop, we will see as well our construction revenue forecast. So regardless of the billing activity, regardless of the invoicing activity, this shows me my revenue recognition, my forecasted revenue by project over the next several months. Now, this is currently showing it to me in a gross amount, and you can see our projects right here, as well as any projects we worked on prior in a categorical format. However, I'm going to move this into a periodic basis and just simply refresh it. And thereby we have all of the great features of efficiency job costing being combined with NetSuite's powerful reporting and revenue recognition management tools, so that we can have earned value or any type of progress billing we want make up our actual revenue recognition schedules, and thereby in completeness be able to track all our projects and where they're going, and be able to see the totals in any given month of what I can expect in total revenue in my business. I mentioned that the projects have hierarchies, and so you'll see that there's multiple project hierarchies underneath it. There's our floor 8 underneath the tower installation. And if I had sub-projects, I would see those as well. So you can go as deep as you like in the breakdown, or you can keep it high level if you'd like. It allows you though to quickly see, and so if I want to break down a bit more, you can get down to each transactional level if you wanted to, and every single penny. But it's nice to keep it at a rolled up level, and then you can inspect. There's many tools for that in NetSuite for inspecting the metrics that the reports show. We also want to talk a little bit about sort of a group level project profitability, more clean based on the job costing metrics. And so if you do that as well, regardless of the revenue side of it, you can see that this is just showing me for all projects in my tower installation, both the HVAC, the metal fabrication, and you can see all of these as well. So we have I mentioned the different work breakdown structures that represent these. So if I look at this one, you can see this is my 0550 series for metal fabrication. And so I categorize my projects by their general task team, if you will, each one having potentially their own revenue recognition schedule too. Totally okay. Much more granular than most people will manage to, but the system does in background for you if you want it that way. And then this is the CSI sample, which is the same as the concrete I was looking at prior. So just a nice way to create all these project pieces, and then over time, your estimating will get better too, because you'll be able to see the performance by groups of project types. Use that to improve your estimating. And of course, you can either import that or connect the bid to win type application to NetSuite. NetSuite itself does have some estimating capabilities, but we're not going to be doing too much of that in this demo here today, as we will be short on time. On top of some of these, as I clean up my tabs here, on top of some of the rest of this, we will also want to look at something we call budget versions. So why are the budget versions important? Why do we even have this concept of a budget version? Well, on the project, let's go back to our original project here. We know that this is our pattern of hours that we're going to see in terms of dollar value. Our budget for those same pattern of hours happened to be 88,81188. And this is my budget, what I call budget 001 version. So this project's internal code is 1437. You'll see that right in the URL actually. Useful and unique ID in NetSuite. So the budget version here is 001. I want to make a new budget version, but I want to keep the old one just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a new batch of budget records, and it's going to version all of these for me, pick up what I have as actuals in the system, and use that as my new baseline. And so you can see that right underneath now. I can see that, and I will go to latest budget markers. Yes. And you'll see that I've created a new budget version 002, not just 002 for 1437, as well as I had the old one 001. So if I went to that, if I switch this back up and I just put 01 and use that as my filter, it'll allow me to see just what my old budget was. So my old budget was 8. My new budget, I'll use this one for now. Use different ways to filter the same. Now my budget's quite a bit more. I have 65,000 in total budget labor. So that's significantly more. But I'm going to smooth this out because I don't believe this is actually the pattern of when the work will get done. Now I have 2 choices. I could do it in different screens, but we have a specific screen set for this. So you simply put in your budget version and you immediately filter. And now I can do it in a list view, very much like Excel. So I know I need to hit around 65. That's what the actuals are looking like. I want these guys to complete a little bit quicker. I'm charging for more, but I want them to complete a bit quicker. So I'm going to try and hit a 64,000 range. So that's going to be 8,000 here. And so I can put my 8,000 like this, and I can copy past it into each cell. Whoops, excuse me. Or I can do this immediate peanut butter spread this way as well, and I can put in 8,000, and I just auto-fill it all up. Refresh my screen, I get a new total. Oh, I'm at 64, nice and clean, great. And so now this is my latest budget, and off I go, and I can create different budgets and multiple budgets per period, per metric for each project. The whole thing rolls up to a total project if you want. And now back on the project, when I look at it, I can have a little fun with the visualizations. So if I go to my visualizations in high charts, I can see total cost. And again, this cost red will go up as I go through my budget. I can see my revenue progress and my cost progress as a colorized bar chart against each period of the window that I'm looking at for my project. I can see by performance against each metric in the period as well. And more importantly, these are my favorite lines. I can see where my cost trend is going to be breached. So my cumulative actual cost is the green line. The cumulative budget cost, which I smooth peanut butter spread at 8,000 per period, is this steady slope. And so you get to see that I'm actually going to breach my line. I'm going to be under my line thinking I'm doing great up until June. Then all of a sudden, July, I'm going to go way over. So this is a very good, simple way to find out where I'm going to see a change in my behavior in the project. Not only can I use this on a visualization perspective, I can act on it. So I can act on it by going to my home dashboard, and I'm going to just change this particular search I made, project budget thresholds. And we're going to pick it up specifically for when does my budget exceed, when do I breach my budget in my planned labor category? And so we're going to simply do that by looking where we have our metric 5 is against the percentage of the total. So we'll use this one. So I know what my budget 5 metric is, and I'm looking at that particular metric because, and again, you'll relabel these. They'll be more contextually meaningful to you. But I know that number 5 just happens to be my plan time. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so plan time is what I'm looking at. And so I'll simply take my plan time and I'll look for a particular time. And this is where you can use NetSuite's really cool and simple formula capabilities to simply pull in a formula where I look at what is my, so I will be going to my periodic record here and pulling in what is my MJC metric 5 actuals. So that's what the field represents, looks like in SQL for those that like to play around with formulas. I'll match it up against whatever my budget 5 was for that particular period. And by not picking the totals, I picked it on a periodic basis. And I'll simply say planned labor, forgive the Canadian spelling, excess or under and this will be my percent calculation here. So I'll just rerun my report and look at it that way. No, it says I have a divide by zero error potential. And so that's because I'm searching all budgets. So I'll just make sure that my none of my actuals are zeros. And I simply do that by having a little more fun at the periodic level and making sure that my criteria, that none of my actuals are zero. So just make sure that they're greater than zero. Rerun that, and I'll just get to see those where I have a metric and it seems to matter. Sure enough, we're going to end up seeing our particular budget area, but I'm highlighting something else right now. So let me change my highlight so I can catch up with the logic of what I'm trying to capture. And go to my highlighting tab. And so instead of this metric, I want to take a look at when do I see, and this will be my formula here. And so my formula would be, this is the same formula that I used in my actual search. So this is going to be my budget divided by the actuals. And I think as I think through it, I might have done that slightly wrong. So if my actuals are larger, then I'm going to be under 1 as a percentage. So that's okay. I'll just do it. I'll just do a negative concept here. So where I'm less than 1, I want to highlight that. And so that's going to identify anytime it's like that. And we'll turn this into a bright red text with an amber background. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now we'll easily see where that actually did occur. And so, oh, it's occurring several times. And so I'm easily able to see that. I go back to my dashboard and the search has already been updated. I simply refresh my portlet here and I'll be able to see that. Now, depending on the project I'm looking at, so I'll look at my floor 8 to find the particular project I was talking about. Where is it? 4.9, 4.8, there we go. And there sure enough, I got 3 points in where I'm going to go over my labor budget. The first is in April, the second's in July, and the third is in September. Surprising, but important to know. And that's how you use the material job costing capabilities of efficiency along with NetSuite to supercharge how you track your projects, understand all their costs, while still being able to execute all of the daily operations, resource allocations, and all the transactional elements that will come along with any given project in NetSuite.